rate for people making 40 grand or less is like -8 to -10% after refunds. Absolutely, it's negative. They only pay 3% pre-return. The average for like half of Americans, the bottom 50% of earners, they only pay 3% of the total collected. And that's before all of the EITC credits, which are refundable, and the CTC. I've seen reports that say 50,000 or less average is a negative tax liability. Some pay taxes, but the average over all the people in the income distribution is negative. They're not even contributing a single dollar, like when you average them all out. They're only 3% before they get their tax refunds.
Taxation of low-income households is a particular salient aspect of distributional issues. The amount of income that a taxpayer can earn without incurring any net federal tax liability depends on source of income, filing status, number of children, blah, blah, blah. Consider a tax filing unit with all income from wages and no itemized deductions. A single earner with no children would be eligible for standard deduction and the earned income tax credit, so would be able to earn $13,000 in income before owing federal income tax. So still, that's fine. That's the way it should be. A single earner with one child would be eligible for standard deduction, the child credit, and a larger earned income credit, and would be able to earn 38 grand in income before incurring federal liability. For a couple with two children, the threshold is 60 grand. Under prior law, the thresholds would have been somewhat lower in 2018, 12,000. Okay, so he raised the thresholds for you.
What it's saying is if you don't have a child,
liability. Yeah, I know.
If you have like no children and you make like 40 grand, you might owe $800 at the end of the year. But if you have a child, now you get $3,800 or $4,200. Something like that.
So 45% will pay no federal income tax or receive a net tax refund in 2018. Under prior law, 76. So just a little bit lower, would have paid no federal income or tax. Horizontal equity. Traditional tax policy principles cover the tax system promote horizontal equity. That is to provide roughly similar tax treatment for taxpayers in similar circumstances. This is often interpreted as taxpayers with equal income facing equal tax liabilities. The TCJA largely dispenses with this notion by introducing new distinctions for various types of income producing activities. For example, an income from a wage earner is taxed differently. Income for a owner of a pass-through business, and different types of pass-through businesses are taxed differently. Accountants and lawyers are taxed differently than architects and engineers. Business income from tangible assets is treated differently from business income from intangible assets. In all these ways, TCJA makes distinctions that weaken horizontal equity.
Yeah, it just said some taxpayers pay nothing and some have a negative tax liability. Literally what I just told you.
No,
but it's half the country.
Literally, dude, none of this has looked good for the middle and lower class. None of it. None of this analysis.
The bottom 50% of earners have an overall negative tax liability.
Stop.
Half of the earners.
Stop.
77 million people. How much more do you want to cut from negative? That's my point. Corporations, we agree. Their ass needs to be paying their fair share. But the individual side is so stacked. It's unreal.
People with two kids should not have to pay taxes if they're making 30.
I'm okay with that. Listen, we agree there. You should have a tax liability of $0. You shouldn't have a tax liability of negative $14,000.
Hello, Felice.
Negative.
Hello.
Hello.
Spencer, you are repeating the same things over and over again, but that's not what this tax bill is about, right? Like everyone, we're talking about like people paying percentages, right? Like the biggest fallacy Republicans ever say, which has been debunked over and over, is that, all our tax money comes from Elmo, right? Which is Elon, right? He just mistypes it all the time. So that's why I call him Elmo. But they're paying all the taxes, not as a percentage. Math is super simple.
It's very simple.
As a percentage, yeah.
So what do you mean by percentage?
As a percentage, right? Effective tax rate. Elmo didn't pay taxes. Either did Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, but they didn't have income either.
Effective tax rates.
Yeah, so
they're not paying taxes.
That's not what we're talking
as
about.
a percentage. But it is what we're talking about. You're talking about the bottom 50% of America because you don't understand the poverty line and what it takes to survive, right? There's basic deductions. Well, there's basic deductions, right? When you're near the poverty, there's basic deductions that are like, hey, like this is how much it takes to survive as a human being and remain alive in this society. So there's this amount of deductions. Yeah.
What we're debating is, okay, the 1%, right? What share of the total AGI for the country do they get? Would you argue that 20% is about accurate, right?
Pickles, will you put up that graph I sent you of how many? Will you put up the graph I Pickles of the one about I'm not Spencer, you were having a conversation with yourself and you don't even understand the budget that was just released. No, the one about the IRS and when we invest in the IRS. Like, I'm going to explain something to you, Spencer. So the bottom, and I'll show you this graph, the bottom 50% of America, when our taxes are done, like if you're in the bottom 50% of income, right, it's just an algorithm. It's computers. Do you understand that? Doing our taxes. It's not a forensic auditor. It's not an IRS agent. It's because, do you know what? Understand why? Because those people, it costs like $600, $700, $1,000 an hour, right?
I don't know what you're saying.
Well, let me get there. Let me get there, Spencer. Here's the key. Here's the key to listening is you have to let me land the plane and make my point.
You made eight of them, which you haven't addressed what we were talking about.
No, because I was listening to you repeat the same thing over and over again, but now I'm making a new point about about how we make money as a country. That's my new point. No. The one about, there's a graph about, it's from the IRS and how much for every dollar of our tax dollars we invest into the IRS, from which income percentages, how much we get back, right? And the 0.1% for every dollar of our taxes, of our American tax dollars that we invest into the IRS, we're getting, I think it's like $6.18 back. It's the highest return. And I don't think you understand why, right? Because high-level forensic audits, forensic accounting to track things like basis shifting and to collect revenue from billionaires and corporations, that is where time is best spent. If you care about American tax dollars and our ROI, here it is. Thank you. Oh, it's $6.29. It's even more than I thought. And our return on investment as Americans, right? So you were screaming about the bottom 50th percentile. Those taxes are just done by an algorithm, right? Because how much forensic auditors cost, it's not even right. That's why we're never going to, if you're poor, you're never going to be audited because it would cost more per hour to hire someone to look into you. They already know through a computer algorithm how much you owe, but they probably aren't going to pay anyone to come after you because it's not worth it. But once you start making more and more, there you see top 1% for every dollar. $6.29 back.
I don't disagree.
So I'm saying to you, I'm just making the point. Like, no, I'm just making the point. Like, I think what you're in some way trying to do is like make an argument for trickle down economics. And I'm just showing you. I'm showing you a return on investment for the IRS. Our money. We agree on. Every dollar. Yeah, we agree on. Sure. But I'm showing you that as a percent, all I want is when I'm taxed 33% as a small business owner, I have to pay Social Security, Medicare tax for the business and for the individual. When I'm taxed at a high rate and make barely anything in comparison to the 0.1%, I would like them to pay their fair share. And then I would like us to actually have, because Trump is dismantling the IRS, and we see here from these numbers that what makes sense is our tax dollars go after the richest people. That's where the ROI is.
You made an argument for auditing. I made an argument for. No, wait, hold on. You're a Republican, so you care about ways. No, you care about. I use the word ROI. You don't need to say it now. I said the word ROI. You don't need to say it like you brought it to the conversation. So my point is,
is you're a Republican who's into fiscal well, if you were a real Republican, if you support Donald Trump, you don't care about waste, fraud, and abuse. But if you did, and you cared about balancing the budget and how our money was best spent, we would hire as many forensic accountants and IRS agents as possible, and we would concentrate all of our tax dollars on going after the 0.1% because we could make a profit. That's fiscal responsibility.
Sure, I have no problems with that argument. Now, would you like to address what we're discussing before that? Like, you completely...
Thing you keep repeating over and over and over like you're doing something?
Is it incorrect?
This is what he thinks.
Hold on. No. Is it incorrect that the top 1% pay a higher percentage of the taxes and make a disproportionately less amount of the AGI? Is that just a fact or not? And if not,
it's because we have a progressive tax system. Yes, they should.
Exactly. So what is... Like, where is this?
Wait, hold on. You're saying as a group, the 0.1%? Because I'm saying as individuals, I just want us all to pay our fair share as individuals.
Yeah, 0.1%.
As individuals, not like as a group of the donor class and you as a poor person here carrying water for them. I just want people to pay their fair percentage as individuals.
Yeah, the point.
And our best return on investment is right here.
Okay, that has nothing to do with taxes. That has to do with
it has to do with fiscal responsibility, and you're a Republican. So if you cared about it,
I already agreed with you 4 times.
Okay, so just say I don't care about fiscal responsibility.
Why? What? Are you listening to what I'm saying? I said I agree. Yeah,
I heard you.
I agree with your data. I have no issue with.
All I'm saying is each individual American.
Why are you interrupting me? I'm agreeing with you. So you came up here to attack my position by giving me an entirely different topic of which I agree.
No, I'm talking about fiscal responsibility and balancing the budget.
We were talking about the taxes and how they didn't.
Yeah, these are taxes and IRS agents and where our money is best spent as Americans.
Okay, we agree.
And where we get the best return on investment.
Sure, I have no problem with that. Now, would you like to tell me, was my initial claim incorrect or not?
Oh, okay. So let me just say that I'll say this again. No, I'm not disputing this is always how MAGA is. You listen to like a podcast or see a meme and you like harp on this one thing and it's all you have. So you repeat it over and over and over.
I mean, we can change the topic if you like.
No, I'm not going to change the topic. I want to stay on the topic of transfer. I want to stay on the topic of huge transfers of wealth to the top of the economy and how that's going to damage you, Spencer, as an individual. I would like to stay on that topic. No.
What do you mean stay on the topic? That is like your go-to move.
I did not do that. I didn't do that.
You bring up 8 other topics and overshout them because you don't want to address that they made a correct claim that doesn't suit your agenda.
You said something that does not matter to me personally.
Then why did you have the need to come up here and bring up a whole nother topic and derail the whole conversation?
Well, I'll tell you why.
Me and Pickles are friendly.
I'm not saying, Spencer, I'm super glad you guys are friends. Pickle, I guarantee you I'm better friends with him than you are. So, cool. I still win in that argument as well.
Yeah, you do. I wouldn't debate that either.
Yeah, perfect. So I won that one. I am better friends with Pickles than you are now. Which does not necessarily matter. I know Pickles is a great guy and he's nice. And I'm sorry. Listen, I apologize for coming in hot. I'm not disputing your topic, but the reason, we cannot let wealth concentrate at the top of the economy is why. Do you understand how money needs to circulate through?
Yeah, I agree with you. Big time.
Okay, so that's what the purpose of taxing, like the golden age of capitalism, when we had a progressive tax system and the top percentile was 90%, was because we could not allow gross amounts of wealth to accumulate at the top of the economy.
Yeah, but I hate that argument because we're going back to the 50s.
No, it's math. Let's look at it. No, it's math. It's math. It's not, it doesn't matter when it happened. It's math.
If you want to go there.
Yeah, let's go there.
That was the marginal. What was the effective rate? Was it higher? I think you might be surprised to know that the actual effective rates are higher now than they were there, even with the marginal of 90.
No, the point was no. Listen, let me just explain to you why you have a top marginal tax rate of 90%, right? Because you can never. If you know why, we cannot let huge transfers of wealth
What causes
to the
that?
top of the economy. Do you understand why? I can show you. I could show you statistical analysis since Reagan. The money never trickles back down, right? And if you're a real Republican,
yeah, it does.
the money
Yeah,
does not know it. Okay, well, let's do a statistical analysis of wealth. No, money has never trickled back down. You're wrong. The only thing that's happened is the money's trickled up. You're wrong.
You're okay. So Clinton's first term. Clinton's first term, wages grew 2 cents.
What does that have to do with anything?
We're talking about
that doesn't mean money hasn't been concentrating at the top of the economy. Here, let me pull up a statistical
and
analysis.
Clinton says
I have a statistical analysis of this.
I know you have all your
years.
talking points,
well,
but if
I have math. No, I just have math because I'm into math. Like, you're wrong.
Okay, I'm wrong. I'm so wrong that y'all lost 62 seats and lost your 42-year control.
Oh, because MAGA can't do math and they don't understand basic math. Yeah, I agree with you that you guys can't do math.
I don't think.
No,
I don't
you don't.
think math is going to be the.
And you would know that no money since Reagan has trickled down anywhere.
I'm trying to tell you,
it has only trickled up.
You immediately jumped in to
listen. Saying, "Hey, for a small amount of time, wages increased," doesn't have to do with large amounts of wealth transferring to the top of the economy.
And that's not what causes that. What causes that is debasing the currency. It's called top-down inflation.
It's called You're talking about devaluing the currency.
Let me make a point.
You're talking about something else. Don't talk to me about devaluing the currency.
Can you just calm down and let me make a point, and then you can destroy me with your awesome facts?
Go ahead.
The number one cause of wealth, inequality, is the fact that the people who touch the money first are at the top, the rich bankers. When you debase the currency through QE, we have fractional reserve banking, we have a fiat currency. Elon Musk doesn't care if milk is $300 a gallon, but your 9-to-5er absolutely does. So you want to absolutely transfer wealth from the bottom to the top, keep printing money. That is the number one cause of the inequality on the distribution of just total wealth. Also, because the people at the top own assets that appreciate when you inflate the shit out of the dollar. The people at the poor are just trying to make it through their 9-to-5. So the number one cause of wealth inequality isn't taxing the rich more. It is to stop printing money. That is the sole cause of it. And until we address that, you could tax them 100%. It's not going to make you less poor, and it's not going to make your dollar stronger all of a sudden because you take more from people that you don't like.
Okay, again, you're talking about the value of the dollar and devaluing currency. That has nothing to do with the conversation I'm having. So I'm just going to in 1960, the top 1% of U.S. earners received approximately 9% of total national income. By 2022, this share had increased to 22%. The top 10% of income share grew from roughly 34% in 1960 not the Gini coefficient. I don't want to bring that up. Corporate profits as a percentage of GDP increased from roughly 6% in 1960 to about 12%. Meanwhile, labor's share of national income declined from approximately 65% in 1960 to about 56% by 2022. We have lost wealth in the middle and lower classes. 60% of wealth in America is now inherited and untaxable.
Yes, and what was the new thing that they invented that we literally saw cause this? It's a term called quantitative easing that started, and now we've seen the problem get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's the control of the supply of money. It literally, you can see it happen like almost overnight as when they create money out of thin air.
No, that's God. You're asking the wrong question, Spencer. It's why are they creating? No, the answer is why are they printing money? Not you stop at the dumb. God, that is the dumbest thing. Oh, that's. Money to the top of the economy say, oh, we just need to stop printing money. The reason we're printing money, Spencer, is because so much wealth is concentrated at the top of the economy and not circulating that people would starve if we didn't print money.
Do you think that rich people hold money?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know they do.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Holding money is the dumbest thing you can do because you are going to lose the money through inflation. You absolutely, unless you're...
It's invested in the stock market.
If you're not holding money, you're putting it right back into the system. You are spending it as soon as you can get it.
It's invested in the stock market. They are
Right.
not spending it as soon as they can get it. That is why,
They're-
and can I just tell you,
When we buy a
literally,
stock,
can I
where
just
does
say
the money
something to
go,
prove
man?
you're wrong? I can
Where
give you a
does the money
perfect,
go?
I can give
When
you a perfect example, Spencer, to
Where
prove you're
does the
wrong.
money go
Let
when
me
you
just
buy a
prove you
stock?
wrong with a simple
You're not gonna prove
anecdote.
me wrong.
I'm going to prove you wrong right now.
Nobody
Do you
holds
know
money.
that they're considering, which is actually smart because dumb MAGA who can't do math, right? When the last time Trump printed money,
keep
Donald
saying-
Trump, the last time Trump printed money and
It was
signed those
stupid.
checks,
It was stupid.
well, thank you for admitting that. But how many people do I know that when I have to debate people who can't do math who say, Donald Trump signed a check and mailed it to me, and that's why I voted for him? And
I agree.
and
I'm
look
not
this up.
those
Wait, hold
people.
on. I'm not done. Just let me. That's not my point I'm making. The point I'm making is they are considering right now, the Trump administration, printing more money and doing it again. But here's the best part. They're saying specifically because they know printing money is inflationary. And they're saying we're only going to give checks to people that make above a certain income because they won't spend it immediately. They know, they're like, if we give it to poor people and the middle class that are living paycheck to paycheck, that will cause inflation in the economy. But rich people, they'll save it.
No, they
They'll
won't.
just pay off debt. They'll invest it. Yes, this
I'm
is
not
from the Trump administration. This
I'm
is
not
from
saying-
Besant.
I agree. I'm not, listen, just if you wouldn't be so defensive, I'm not saying they didn't say that. I'm saying that statement is false because everybody's going to, if you're poor, you're going to blow it. If you're rich, you're also going to invest in
Hold on.
Nobody holds it.
If you're poor and living paycheck to paycheck and you need to buy food, you're not blowing your money.
Okay.
You're using it to survive.
Semantics, for fuck's
You're
sake.
using it to survive. You have to
glad-
inject money into the economy because you need that money to survive, to eat.
That
You're
is
not
the biggest
blowing
problem.
it.
Hold on, what you
Stop
just said-
implying that
what
poor
you just
people are
said-
wasting money.
What you just said is the biggest bamboozling that's ever happened. You got rich bankers to convince the poor and middle class to think if we don't artificially create money out of thin air, oh my gosh, the economy is going
This
to
is
collapse.
Trump said this.
No,
You talking to Trump about it. Talk to Trump about it. He's the person that continues
I said it
printing
was
money.
stupid, but I'm telling you, the biggest trickery of all time is that Americans think if we don't have 2% inflation, which is really just stealing 2% of your purchasing power, that the entire economy is going to collapse. So while they keep screwing you by printing money and the rich keep getting richer because they're the ones who own the assets and the securities that get inflated, right? Their values go up, your costs go up, and you can't even climb out of your economic ladder. The biggest, I don't get it. Printing money and deficit spending is the biggest attack on the poor and the middle class, period.
Yeah, and Trump added the third largest to the deficit of any president.
Yeah, just behind
So you must hate him then. You must be really upset. No, not behind Obama. You have no idea what you're talking about. You must be really upset about Trump being so fiscally irresponsible. If you can do math, Spencer. You must be furious that Donald Trump is super fiscally irresponsible.
Did we have a single deficit under Biden of under $1 trillion?
Biden lowered the deficit. Are you joking?
Again,
Biden paid down the deficit. Biden paid down the deficit. Trump raised it. Do you understand the difference?
Do you know what a deficit is?
Yes, I do. Here, let me pull up. Let me cite a source for you.
The deficit, right, is the difference in outlays and your incoming revenue.
No shit, Sherlock.
Trump's first 3 years didn't break $1 trillion. Biden didn't have a single year under $1 trillion. The debt increased.
Okay, so again, that's not
$8.46 trillion.
Donald Trump.
Biden.
Here we go. This is an article, ProPublica article. Donald Trump built a national debt so big, even before the pandemic, because
it was still less than Biden.
Even before, no, it wasn't. That it'll weigh down the economy for years. The king of debt promised to reduce the national debt. Get into the numbers. The national debt has risen by almost 7.8 trillion. Right, during Trump's presidency. Wait, I want to get to the deficit.
I agree.
The growth in annual deficit under Trump ranks as the third biggest increase relative to the size of the economy of any U.S. presidential administration.
Right, because the economy shut down. It's a great way to see how you can use numbers. So, it's called a red herring. What did you say?
It's not a red herring.
Okay, let's just say I agree. What was that number you said?
Trump mismanaged the budget.
Right.
Trump let me just help you. Trump mismanaged the budget. What he said, let's talk about Trump mismanaging the budget.
All right, the topic you just said, you gave a number, 7.8 trillion. I accept that number because that's actually accurate. It was 19.95 trillion when he was inaugurated, 27.75 when he left. What was it under Biden? We have Trump at 7.8.
Whenever Pickles comes back, he has a graph for this.
I know what he has.
Pickles has a good graph.
He has the CRFB June 2024 report, which is the only report that can substantiate. And if he brings it up, I'm probably going to crash out because he knows better. I've already debunked everything about that report because it's
What do you mean?
Because that report's not saying what you think it's saying. It's saying a 10-year projection.
Yeah, of what everyone's responsible for as president, of what they added to the debt.
We don't need projections anymore. We have the data. What was it under Biden when he got inaugurated?
All you're going to do, you're pointing at the Treasury, aren't you?
No, I'm not even talking about the 1.7 trillion he left in the Treasury. I didn't even bring that up.
Okay, well, you're pointing at the treasury.gov, right?
Yeah, I think I have talked to you before. This is all seeming very familiar.
What these people do is they point at the actual deficit and they don't account for what the former administration did to make Biden spend during his years. She brought the number up.
I think I was here the last time we talked about this. I'm pretty sure I was here.
You brought it up. I didn't.
No, I mean, I think I was here before when you talked about this.
You brought it up.
I never forget. I feel like we all... No, I'm not talking about Spencer. I'm talking about, I think I've talked to you before today.
Because it's funny. Every time y'all bring up a topic and I show you that you're just wrong, you move the goalpost.
Are you joking?
No, you said 7.8, which was lower than Biden's 8.46 trillion. And then if we want to go to projections, if we use the CBO data, Biden's way over Trump. The only thing that you can use was a funky CRFB June report of last year, mind you, and it's way off. It's not even close to accurate.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I have this really cool thing I have to pay like $50 a month that does statistical analysis. Biden versus Trump statistical analysis of deficit additions. But it cuts off at October 2024. So just in fairness. So this is only up to October 2024. Based on available data through October 2024. Donald Trump administration 2017 to 2021, total deficit addition approximately 7.8 trillion over 4 years, average annual deficit about 1.95 trillion per year, deficit as percentage of GDP, which is the real what you look at, increased from 3.4% to 14.9%, greatly impacted by COVID-19, pre-pandemic. Pre-pandemic. Numbers annual deficit average 800 billion. Joe Biden administration 2021 early 2025. Total deficit addition approximately 4.5 trillion first 3 years. Average annual deficit about 1.5 trillion per year. Deficit as percentage of GDP decreased from 12.4% to approximately 6% of GDP. Key deficit reduction legislation. Yeah. So I win. You lose.
Okay. So you took
I'm just Spencer. You're not right.
I'm listening to what you said. You're taking the C-19 complete shutdown and then comparing it to, look, it was so bad when we got in.
Trump added 1.95 trillion per year to the deficit. Biden added approximately 1.5 trillion per year to the deficit.
Oh, hold on. Which years are they counting? I know what you're doing.
I'm not doing anything. I'm doing all available data. 2020, Joe Biden administration 2021 to early 2025. Donald Trump administration 2017 to 2021.
Spencer has done his own math.
It's all the data.
Spencer's done his own math.
Cool. Because by the way, you are wrong.
The first 3 years of Trump's
administration. Spencer, you're wrong.
What was the deficit in 2017, 2018, and 2019? They weren't even $1 trillion until C-19. Biden didn't have a
800 billion.
Yeah, and Biden didn't have a single
I said that.
year.
I read that off.
Okay, and Biden didn't have
Pre-pandemic
a
numbers, I read that off.
Okay, Biden didn't have a single year of the deficit.
Yes, because he was recovering the best in the G7 from a worldwide Yes, we recovered the best in the G7 from a worldwide pandemic.
We're not even number
You're
one right now.
welcome. Thanks, Joe Biden.
That's a lie.
Thanks, Joe Biden.
We were number 9 when he said that, and now we're number 2.
We recovered the best in the G7 from the pandemic.
That's just not true.
And again, I'm just going to read the statistical analysis of who did better on the deficit. So again, let me just read this slowly for Spencer, who can't do math. Added approximately 1.95 trillion per year to the deficit. Biden added approximately 1.5 trillion. Now, do you tell me per year to the deficit? Now, which one is less? Can someone help me? Is 1.95 trillion more or less than 1.5 trillion? I'm really struggling with that.
Pickles, can you go
Which one is more? I'm not great at math.
All right, I'm gonna let you get somebody else. Pickles, I'll give you 20,000 to your live right now. I want you to Google GDP PPP and tell us what rank USA is.
Since Trump got in office, has he ruined it for us?
That's not what we're looking.
Has Trump ruined it for us? Has Trump inflation's up too? You should make sure you blame Trump for that too.
Number 1 is it China?
Oh, I'm not surprised based on Trump running our economy into the ground.
No. You said we were number 1. We were number 9.
No, that's not what I said.
You said we
Joe Biden is not in office. What I said was we recovered the best from the pandemic.
But we haven't recovered the best.
We recovered. No, I'm talking about when Joe Biden was in control of the economy.
No, we were at 9 up until just recently moved into number 2. So we weren't recovering the best in the world. We still haven't recovered the best in the world. We're number 9.
Hold on a second.
Where's my 20 grand, Spence?
Wait, wrong computer.
Give
I'm
it.
typing on the wrong keyboard.
And did you see Pickles that we did $28.5 trillion last year alone?
Here we go. Relative to pre-pandemic trend, economic output continues to fall short. The United States has performed better than other G7 economies and the Euro area, with real GDP just below 1.4% below trend. The fastest recovery in the United States reflects a more complete recovery in domestic consumption. Here, this is a good graph. I'll send this to you.
I don't think you can illustrate that with just.
This is from the U.S. Department of Treasury, like a real source.
Yeah, not GDP per capita.
Not Spencer does math alone in his room at night.
What's recovering, right? Is you have to compare it against the rest of the world. Like, how else are you going to compare it? That's what we use.
No, like, what if China's recovery was much worse than us, and we
the
like
G7,
maybe their total was
better. It does not include China, right? The G7 is United Kingdom, Germany, France, Euro area, Japan, Canada, Italy. Okay, so again, just for hearing people who are on this live, I said we recovered the best in the G7, and then you named a country not included in those and started screaming about it.
That's not what I said. I said we were number 9.
Okay, so
China
again,
is number 1. Doesn't matter.
So again, I'm talking about the G7, and you're talking about something else. So my claim is correct. And you pivoted and brought up another topic.
I didn't hear you say G7, but even if you did, let's compare.
I said G7 over and over and over.
Well, we're gonna look
I said
at
we recovered the best in the G7. Put a 1 in the chat if I said we recovered the best in the G7. And then what we learned was that Spencer thinks China is part of the G7.
I don't think China is part of the G7. Obviously,
well, you obviously do.
No,
look at all those ones. That's 72 ones.
Spencer,
that's 84 ones. You can't hear.
You better at least donate $2 to my Cash App, okay? Don't blue balls me.
I said it over and over and over and over, and then you're like, "Let me talk about a random country not part of the G7."
$2, Spencer.
Yeah, hold on. Making sure that even the G7 GDP.
I just cited my source. Here, I'll send it to Pickles.
I'm looking at the number. Hold on.
U.S. economic recovery fastest among comparable advanced economies. Relative to pre-pandemic trends, economic output continues to fall short. However, the United States has performed better than the other G7 economies and the euro area, with real GDP just 1.4% below trend. Joe Biden did the best he mother effing could with with the disaster zone Trump handed in.
What do you mean the best? We had record inflation. We had
that's what happens during pandemics. Surprise! It happened. Yes, our inflation went down faster. Do you want to get into why inflation was up? Do you understand what happened in oil and gas and what Trump did? Do you not know?
Okay.
Do you want to get into how inflation went? Here, let's have Mark Cuban teach you, because I'm learning that you can't listen when women talk, so I'll have Mark Cuban tell you.
You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Oh, I know exactly, and you're about to learn something yet again.
How does inflation
You're about to learn something.
How is inflation calculated?
You're about to learn. Don't you worry your pretty little head, Spencer.
Oh,
I'm hey, I know here. What you're going to learn about me is I never say anything that I don't know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a thing. You're talking to a historical researcher. I never make claims I'm not sure about.
Okay, then
it's a thing. Okay, so be quiet and open your ears. It's time to listen now. It's time to listen now. It's time to learn. It's time to learn about inflation, Spencer.
And second, you have to look at the root of inflation. I'll tell you exactly when the very first kernel of inflation was set. And that was in April of 2020. It was the early days of the pandemic. The gas prices were $1.87. The oil companies went to Donald Trump and said, we are getting crushed with gas prices at $1.87. Saudi Arabia and your friend MBS, please go to Russia and your friend Vladimir Putin and ask them to reduce production. So he had a choice to make. Does he help his oil company cronies, or does he help keep gas prices low? You already know what he did. He went to his he went to support his oil company cronies, went to MBS and Putin and said, please reduce production. That was the day inflation started. And you can track minute by minute, hour by hour, month by month, year by year, quarter by quarter, that as long as that agreement was in place up until 2022, gas prices kept on going up. The minute that agreement came out and production changed, gas prices started going down and you saw inflation go down. So you can take all you want and blame it on the Biden administration, but it started with Donald Trump.
Them's a fact, Spencer, and you can track this all. You seem to like math and numbers. You can track all of this.
You know what? You know where inflation dropped is when the
2022, the day that deal ended, it started going down month over month.
That's
you can
funny
track it.
Because 2022 was the highest record.
Yes, and the day that OPEC deal ended in 2022, inflation started going down. There's other drivers. Inflation of what listen. I've taken many economics classes. I can talk to you about it. One was the breakdown of supply chain due to the Ukraine war, and specifically shortages of dock workers. That's something not understood, right? Inflation is complex. The main driver, however, was Donald Trump's deal with OPEC.
No. What is
it was.
I'm not saying what is the normal number one driver of inflation. The number one.
You're about to say something dumb AF, I'm sure.
No, you're going to.
Because I just told you what the main drivers of inflation were and when it started to go down.
It went down you're saying it went down in 2022. That was the highest we had ever seen.
Yeah, and then the OPEC deal ended. Right? Mm-hmm. And then you can literally track. You can look at the production numbers of OPEC. You can pull them up, and then you can see that deal ends month over month, quarter over quarter. Inflation starts dropping.
You know what caused inflation to drop? Is the BLS changed it from a 24-month to a 12-month. Oh, what a coincidence. We see inflation drop as soon as y'all change the fucking formula. What's the number one cause? How does QE affect inflation? It's the supply of money. And if that weren't the case, then we would just print money all day and just give it to people.
That's not the only thing that causes
Spencer,
inflation.
You're full of shit.
That's not the only thing.
You're so full of shit.
Hold on. I didn't say it was.
Full of shit.
It's the main driver of inflation.
Okay, but
ridiculous.
Okay, still, we even went down in money supply during those years. We went from 21 trillion to 20 trillion during that year.
You're not even, you always just quantum easing. God, that's such a douche thing to say.
We issued, I think, wasn't last year the record of all time of treasuries, borrowing and selling of treasury notes?
You
don't know.
owe Pickles money, Spencer. Just pay.
What do we do? We like refinance the entire debt, like in 1 year. Like we sold 28.5 trillion in treasuries.
The bonds?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
This is getting worse for you. It's getting worse.
I don't know. I feel like you're changing the topic though, because I've showed you the M2 money
He's
supply
got the
before.
goalpost in his back and he's running.
I've showed you the M2 money supply before.
And then the M2 supply was like 21 trillion, I think.
Yeah, but it went down during those years.
This is getting awkward.
It like barely inched down. See, look.
Yeah, we had QT to fight inflation. Oh,
See
imagine that?
Look at this.
Imagine that.
Look at that. 22. So it did go down. It wasn't just the changing of the formula.
So literally the opposite of what you just yelled is the truth.
QT, you just said it.
The opposite of what you yelled.
Hold on, he just said it. We literally decreased the money supply and inflation started coming down.
So it did come down, or was it just a change in formula?
Well, it was both. The change in formula absolutely butchers the data set because you're only looking at 1 year back.
You shut your whore mouth. You shut your whore mouth. I'm sick of you lying to me.
What are you talking about? They changed the formula in 2023, 100%. They now calculate it on 1 year.
All right, but still, look, it went down to 20 from 21 to 20,
because inflation was so out of control.
But inflation went from 9 to like 6 in those months, and then it went down to 3 eventually.
It's not making sense. It doesn't make sense.
The money supply does not reflect the change in inflation. It does not reflect that.
You just said they were quantitative tightening, which I agreed.
They were, but it's not completely reflective of it. It went from 9 to 6 to 3.
Okay.
It went from 9 to 6 to 3, and we've been hovering. We've been hovering between 21 and 20.
So all the Trump printing of money, which I said was bad, and all the Biden stimulus printing of money was bad, and then we saw inflation, but that didn't cause it.
Stop.
And then when they raised interest rates and lowered the money supply, inflation went down. Just coincidences. So why don't we just keep printing money?
Look, it went back up. It went back up. Look, it went back up.
The graph is not following what you are saying. The story you are telling, Spencer, this graph doesn't tell that story. Do you understand that? That you're yelling something and this graph is telling a different story.
No, he said that the M2 dropped by $1 trillion. I agreed. And
yeah, but growing it by 5 trillion, what should that have done? What should that have done? If your school of logic is true, what should that have done?
Unequivocally caused inflation.
So during Trump years?
You see that?
During Trump years?
100%.
It didn't.
Then you need to shut your little whore mouth. Because
what is the average inflation? Because it doesn't.
Biden only printed 1.5 trillion, and Trump printed 5.
The line of logic doesn't make sense.
If you believe that printing money is the cause of inflation, then Spencer, you bet your girthy little D that Trump printed more money.
1.7 trillion of that was in the Treasury that Trump printed. Biden blew it. He injected it in the economy, not Trump.
It doesn't matter.
My track card.
Doesn't matter.
My track card.
Doesn't matter.
It does matter.
No, sirree, because Biden ate that all up. Biden ate it all up too.
If that were the case, how does the
Let's go back to the deficit. It's time to read my statistical analysis. Let me just go into it again. Is 1.95 trillion larger or smaller than 1.5 trillion?
What you're doing is you're counting the fiscal years, which part of that Biden was in office. You're attributing 2021 to Trump when Biden was in office. Hold on. He spent all that money prior to the fiscal 2021 going down. So yes, if you wanted to count the increase in deficits when Biden was enacting legislation and count that against Trump because it's a fiscal year, and I guess you didn't know that they start like in September.
I don't think I understand what a fiscal year is. Don't insult my intelligence, Spencer. Please don't insult my intelligence.
So you are using all of Biden's crazy spending as soon as he gets into office against Trump. Oh, that makes sense.
No, we went from 2021
No,
January.
I'm not. Yeah, it's not. You just want that to be true desperately because you're drowning. You're flailing. You're desperately flailing around. Your face is about to go under the water and you're going to drown. And you're just yelling things.
Can you show what was the deficit in 2020? What was it? 3 point what?
You're still looking at raw numbers when you just need to look at what was spent,
Always
what
does
was
that.
approved.
You love raw numbers.
Stop
He just looks
it.
at spreadsheets and he's like, see this
You're-
one line right
She
here?
she wants to say the deficit was bigger under Trump. Let's just look at
No,
it.
Trump added to the deficit.
Yeah.
Based on the 10-year CBO projection, have you compared the two? Because Biden is not even in the same fucking universe. Because you know that they don't count interest into that, right? There's a separate. Biden's interest alone increases are higher than the entire increase the highest you could give me on Trump. The interest alone under Biden.
We can't control the fact that the Fed changed the fucking interest to
You can
combat
just decide
inflation.
not to borrow a fuckload of money during the highest interest rates.
Well,
You
Biden
maybe
borrowed
wait.
only 2.2 and Trump doubled that in non-COVID.
Oh, God, if you use that CRFB argument, I've already debunked you like 8
You
fucking
can't debunk
times
the
on that.
whole thing. You've debunked small details of it.
I debunked
Small
the fucking entire
details.
thing.
No.
Because it was a projection that was wrong. You had actual data to compare it to. And it was still wrong. But even if you want to count it, count the 8.4 trillion. That would assume that all of that happened in 4
You're
years.
mixing. You're
and
mixing.
Biden-
You're
like,
mixing.
I don't get it.
You're mixing up. You're mixing up net
you're mixing up-
approved. You're mixing up net approved debt to actual debt added. When we're
let's look at
talking
it.
about what Trump approved that was added during Biden's years.
Okay, let's assume that's the case. 2 trillion of that, 8 trillion.
Can I just read it? Fiscal
What-
years
oh, dear
for
God,
you.
no,
Fiscal
no.
years,
I'm
not
interrupting.
regular years. Fiscal years. Fiscal year 2020 under Trump, 3.1 trillion deficit. COVID
Right.
impact.
And the
right? So fiscal year 2021, Biden, 2.8 trillion deficit.
And every single year of Biden had over $1 trillion deficit. Trump didn't have a single year prior to that above $1 trillion deficit. Math is hard.
You're still looking at raw numbers without looking at what he projected
the only
to
other way to look at
spend.
it is by projections.
Yeah, he's still responsible for what he spent over.
So let's
over
look at it.
time.
Conflating projections to like
yeah.
No, I'm not.
estimates.
Yes, you are.
You just keep
You are,
interrupting.
Spencer. You have to admit you are.
No,
you
I'm
have
not.
to admit that. Yes, you are.
I'm literally saying
No.
you keep interrupting.
We can't see whatever you're holding. Oh wait,
It's
What is that?
Pokemon,
Oh,
okay?
pull
Spencer,
something good. Pull something good.
chat. Everyone needs to shut up.
Hey, let's go.
Dark Ray, let's go! Fucking
That
eat
is
dicks,
cool.
chat.
I saw EX. It looks good. I haven't kept
Yeah,
up for
it
a
was
while.
Dark
Is that
Ray,
good?
dude. Yeah, let's go.
Let's fucking go.
My girlfriend needed that.
Good luck.
All right, Spencer, keep
Your
going.
your arch nemesis, good luck charm.
Yeah,
No, yeah, but 2 trillion of that projection was not only not 2 trillion, it was positive as of today, 424 billion. How do you account for that?
Got you on Mega EX too. All right, dude, I'm so checked out from this, dude. I'm going cross-eyed talking about numbers right now.
You want to bring up another MAGA person?
Yeah, I'm gonna. You've been up here for an hour. You're selfish and you're self-centered, Spencer.
Fucking liberals.
I like you, Spencer.
I like you too.
Thank you for liking numbers and for like doing math and having something to talk
I have
about
so
because
many-
it's really fun.
You should see me when I'm on MAGA lives, but they boot me as soon as I start.
Oh yeah, they have no idea what you're saying. I guarantee you, they're like,
I
no.
talk shit about both of them equally. Trust me.
Spencer, stop honey dicking me. Get out of here.
I love you, pickles.
I love you back.
I do
guy.
think you guys have something special.
I'm Larry Cause when you feel the yeah. All right. Guys, we got Dark Right EX. That's all that matters.
I think you
tonight.
guys have a connection.
Don't forget to follow and gift Felice. I'm going to put her
Followed you, Spencer, and I'll be watching you. No,
this is her Cash App. Guys, please donate to Felice. She comes in here fiery hot with all the facts. Give her all the love and give her the follow.
Stop, he's by TikTok. That's funny.
And chat, my Venmo and Cash App are in my bio. If
Thank you
like
for
my-
the $5, Catherine. Love you. You're amazing. And thank you for following me. You're the best,
if
Catherine.
you like my glasses, send a DM to Spencer telling him to pay up.
Where did you get your? I really do like your glasses. That's the first thing. Yeehaw!
Look at these. They're from Temu.
Are they prescription? Okay, so they're not. I love
blue-
them. I
they're
want
blue light.
those. I think.
Yeah.
Oh, they are. I need
Yeah.
to get some glasses. I've been looking into that.
All right. Let's.
Everyone, your glasses are a W.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Do kind of like Spencer. He's spirited. And I could just see him at home with like 7 computer screens and like all these spreadsheets just like poring over things, just being like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
He's a
blue light for
sickness.
screens. I can't stand Spencer. W pancakes. W.
I can't stand Spencer.
Man, none of these people are connecting.
Temu, I need to start getting I feel like once I go to Temu, I might get addicted and never stop. Like once you're on Temu, do you just start ordering like things in bulk? Do you just have like hundreds?
I feel absolutely disgusted because when you open it up, there's just nothing but pop-ups inside its own app, and like stupid like wheel spins with fake like winnings. Like you won a 50% coupon when you can tell it was like it was just a video, and it makes you try to spend $50. It's stupid.
I don't, and that's just like you got hacked, and then next thing you know, they're like you keep getting text messages about a toll bridge. Do you guys keep getting these text messages that you haven't paid your tolls?
Yes.
And I'm like, I don't live in a state with tolls, so it seems a little improbable.
Yes. Chat, I promise we're not always loud. If you want to join and debate, join the box. Come and tell us why you support Trump. I'm drinking a new beer. For those wondering, this is a Beero. I believe this is Tom Holland's beer. Beer 00.
Bob Holland has a not alcohol. Everyone now is into mocktails. I feel like everyone has one now. Tom Holland has a no alcohol beer.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. This one's like a Pilsner. It's pretty good.
I just don't like. I don't know about that.
Remember Net Zero with the ad bar? No. I don't. Zachary in the chat. Zachary's in the box. You remember Zachary. Zachary and Marty.
Oh no, you didn't miss the people's receipts. I just have so much shit going on. My dad decided like, oh, I'm just not going to take my insulin. So I had a very busy last couple days.
What's the point of non-alcoholic beer? I'm allergic to real beer. I break out in handcuffs.
I break out in handcuffs. That took me a second. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, I'm this crazy and I'm sober. That's this. Like, imagine me on alcohol.
Yep. Federal judge ordered the White House to retract directives that led to mass firing of government workers, calling the action illegal.
Can we talk about what the F happened to Gene Hackman and the dog, the Asian lady?
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. So yeah, please.
You don't know about this? Look it up. Like Gene Hackman is 95, his 66-year-old Asian wife and a dog, a pile of pills. They're no longer alive, and it's definitely not like no one tried to unalive them. That's what the cops are saying. But there's no carbon monoxide detected, and nobody knows what happened. And it's like she fell and dragged down this space heater with her, and he fell in a separate room. It's all very strange. Oh, is it CO2 leaks? Yeah, it's super weird.
Whoa.
It's all very weird. And then there's 2 dogs still alive who are outside. So yeah, it's got to be some sort of gas because it just doesn't make any sense. None of it makes. No, it's definitely not foul play. Like they're like, no, it's not that. Well, no, they checked for carbon. I believe they said like it's not carbon monoxide. Like they're not sure. And like there were pills like everywhere on the floor. Like it's all very weird.
I used to have like a really good friend that lived next door down the hall to me in my old apartment. And he came over one night, blackout, tipsy, and cooked on my stove while I was streaming, and then he left, and I went to bed and woke up like at 5 p.m. the next day. I was in a 1-bedroom. It turns out he left my stove, like my gas stove, like just spewing gas all day, and like all of my neighbors had answered their doors and let the plumbers in because they were trying to find a gas leak. And they were drilling into drywall, like they were looking for this gas leak everywhere, and it was my fucking apartment. I was sitting in there just breathing in methane or whatever the fuck they have in their gas stove. Almost
Just
killed me.
breathe it in methane.
Just huffing.
I know, and it like sneaks up on you.
Yeah, almost died. And then he was like, "You want to split that bill?" No, dude, you're paying that. Cost $1,200.
Autopsies found no external trauma to either individual, and carbon monoxide and toxicology tests are pending. A worker had arrived at the home to perform maintenance on the residents and became concerned after receiving no answer. Then they did like a wellness check. The local sheriff's office said the worker then contacted neighborhood security to conduct a welfare check. Security checked the residence and through a window saw the couple unresponsive on the floor, called 911. They found the couple's bodies in different rooms with signs of decomposition, according to an affidavit obtained by the Washington Post. She was found on the bathroom floor near a space heater, like they think she pulled down. And then an orange prescription pill bottle and pills were found scattered on the bathroom countertop, according to the affidavit. Hackman was 95, was found in the mud room, according to the affidavit. The officers investigating the scene indicated that it appeared as though Hackman had fallen suddenly. So yeah, it's got to be gas. Like, if you don't know what a mud room is, that's like where you take off your boots and stuff if you live where it's cold. Due to the unusual circumstances of the couple's unalivings, there was a concern for scene safety. And they live in Santa Fe in New Mexico, by the way. And the New Mexico Gas Company, so the fire department, the New Mexico Gas Company are conducting separate investigations into whether there was a carbon monoxide leak or poisoning or a gas leak, the affidavit said. As of now, there are no signs of evidence indicating there were any problems associated to the pipes in and around the residence.
I don't know, but the dog, like if the dog went too,
that's weird.
Yeah. So like,
and two dogs were alive.
Well, the dogs that were alive were outside. They weren't exposed to any gas.
This seems like a riddle. Like, right? The answer to.
So TMZ's reporting that, and this is really weird. They're reporting that the bodies were partially mummified. I don't know how that's possible. Are they mistaking rigor mortis for mummification?
Composition is different than mummification. Mummification, yeah.
Yeah, that's an entire process.
Decomposing is different.
That's what TMZ was reporting, and I'm like, I'm thinking in my head,
come on.
Yeah, I'm like, are they mistaking that for rigor mortis? But hey, did you guys see? So you guys saw the Gaza video, right? The AI Gaza video. Have you heard the deconstruction of that?
No.
Like they're pointing out that it was the whole video was talking shit to Donald Trump. From the yacht that they show in the first place. Apparently, that was a Russian oligarch's yacht that had been confiscated by the country of France. The bearded women was a direct reference to J.D. Vance. The building in the background was one of the casinos that he bankrupted, and then the golden statue in Israel is a clear reference to the Antichrist. They were breaking it down, and I was just like, oh shit, yeah, that's kind of interesting. So like, he saw it and thought it was a good thing and reposted it, and it turned out it was talking shit to him the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. Oh, I
I
got
thought
it.
that was interesting.
Trump's social media video garners pushback. Draws score. God, he should have. Yeah, he probably should have gotten that. Condemned it as disgraceful.
Yeah, it is disgraceful though.
Where can you find this video? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure Saudi Arabia's loving this. This is going to help them flood the market with OPEC's not going to help Trump now.
I was wrong. It wasn't TMZ. It was E Online. So I kind of quoted a
That's
gossip
kind of the
rag,
same,
didn't
kind of
I?
on the same level. It's about the same.
So, this gossip.
Shawnee,
rag
thank
says-
you for the $15. Love you so much too. Thank you for your beautiful brain. There's no better compliment than that. Thank you.
And then let's see what else news. Fuck.
Yo, can I play my guitar?
No.
Marty, Marty.
Let Tic Tac finish his news cycle, and then we'll have you play.
Oh, can I play my guitar?
stupid guitar?
I learned a song.
Marty, what do you think of my glasses?
Okay.
What?
You love him. Do you like his glasses?
You know, I'm actually wearing glasses right now too. I just took them off, but I was wearing them earlier.
They're not as cool as mine.
Oh no, it's Marty. I love Marty.
Where's Zach?
So
Shouldn't you know?
I was on the phone with him. I told him to join. He said okay. But he's not.
hey, cool. So did you guys hear that LAX was temporarily shut down today because of a measles outbreak? Somebody from Seoul, South Korea, was flown in, and then it was found out that he was actively infected with measles, and they had to contact hundreds of people who may have been in contact with them. So,
I heard they have their first measles casualty in Texas because they have that huge outbreak, the majority of which are children going on. It's so great to be vaccinated and to be able to read and understand science.
glad my mom
luck,
loves
kids.
me enough.
Hello?
I'm gonna mute so I can warm up my voice. All right. So let me know you're ready.
Felice Navidad. Felice, what's going on?
Zach!
How we doing?
It's all the whole gang's here.
The gang is reunited. Tic Tac, how we doing?
The audience.
Been
yeah.
better.
Oh, no. Pickles, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing
Wait,
good. I'm doing
hold
good.
on.
Dude,
Zach,
you
I
ignored
just
me
played,
earlier.
I just played the
was
song for you. Was it good?
No, it was awful. I didn't like it.
It was good, bro. All
It was mid.
right, you ready?
No, we don't want to listen to this, dude. Come on.
It's a cover, so you'll know the song.
I'm leaving. I don't want to cringe, bro.
All right, can I go? Can I go?
No, you're not going.
Do it, Marty.
Let's catch you guys.
Always on a night like tonight. I thank God you can read my mind. 'Cause when you look at me with those eyes, I'm speechless. Staring at you sitting there in that dress. What is to it to me ain't a secret. 'Cause watching you is all that I can do. And I'm speechless. You already know that you're my weakness. And after all this time, I'm just as nervous.
Marty, this isn't
Time
live.
you walk into.
Hey, are you on YouTube right now?
Marty, that's not live.
You can't play that on YouTube. No, that'll get you shut off.
Yeah, we're probably all going to get copyright violations right now. That's for sure.
Nah.
Chat, if you want to debate,
The revenue share with whoever song.
Hop
it
in
is,
the box.
If they're allowing that, as long as they don't want to sue us.
the views are dropping, guys. The views are dropping, guys. We need some debates.
They are.
It's all your
Aggressive
fault,
tap. We haven't made it to 100K. Everybody, it's time. It's arthritis time. Get those fingers tapping. Let's get to 100K. Tap, tap, tap. Tapping is clapping. Thank you, Marty, for driving away people. But I think you practice a little more. I really thought Marty was going to sing.
I'm not sure if I have arthritis setting in or if it's early stages of rigor mortis. That's how fucking old I am.
I'm terrified we're all going to go like Gene Hackman. Like, we all need
hope-
carbon monoxide monitors, all sorts of gas monitors surrounding us at
I
all
hope
times.
it's that sweet and serene. To be honest,
I know, just fall
Please let
asleep
it-
and fall over. Actually, yeah, you're actually right. That's probably a great way to go. Just fall over. Have not see it coming.
Just quick. In the sleep, quickly. Kind of like, what was his name?
Mummification. That really scouted me. Oh yeah, the
Yeah, mummification was
that really
wild.
you had me with that. I was like, what?
Zilla,
There were
with the-
mummies?
Zilla,
Wanted to
thank
eat.
you for $50 donation.
Damn, nice. Did you guys hear
W.
Elon Musk is trying to rehire the FAA people that he fired?
I have heard they're secretly hiring a lot of like health workers and things. Like, yeah.
So, you know what's funny is he's asking to have the retired air traffic controllers come back. Apparently, they're required to retire at age 56.
Oh, the disabled ones that aren't good. Well, they
Yeah,
better
the
not be.
DEI.
They better not be brown. Are we sure they're not the Browns? Because I heard brown people can't direct planes to land. That's what Trump told me.
I've got to fly in May, and
They best
I'm gonna
not
call
be
up
brown.
Southwest.
Or
I'm
what
gonna
was
call
the
up
other thing
Southwest
he
and
said?
require a black woman to be
Do
flying.
you remember the press conference where Trump said dwarfs couldn't land planes?
Oh my
That
God,
had
no.
to be. Did you? Yeah. He was just listing, like, he was just like, here's a list of people that can't land planes. It was like black people, brown people, disabled people, women, dwarfs. I'm not joking. Swear to God. You did not see this press conference. And then people were just like, what
Zilla,
are you
Zilla,
talking about?
thank you so much. I just went to the store and bought groceries today, so you brought my groceries. Thank you.
And he's like, and that's why these planes crash. He's like, I'm sure there was a woman or a brown or black person or a disabled person somewhere involved. And then there wasn't.
DEI.
It's like mediocre white men. Bring back the mediocre white men.
Actually, speaking of DEI hires, though, Kash Patel, he wants to bring the UFC into training the FBI, which is fucking weird. I guess, like, does the FBI, do they get in a lot of fights? Are they, like, hands-on at all times? Is that, I don't know.
Remember when Trump said that they should start an immigrant UFC fight club?
Jesus Christ.
Oh, fuck.
Like bum fights?
He said that, yes. He literally said that. And that they could stay if they won.
I spent about $70 on groceries, guys, but it did include a giant bag of Nerds gummy clusters.
Oh, are you back on the Nerds gummy clusters?
Yep.
Oh, I
And
have
some near beer.
Starburst. I might have to go get them.
I've been on a
Non-alcoholic
bazooka.
beer and nerd clusters is a weird combo.
Had to splurge.
Sounds like an incredible diet, man. I've been on a Bazooka Joe gum kick for
What I've
the last
learned
few
from
months.
Trump is we can all eat garbage for every day, 10 times a day for our whole lives and apparently still survive. You will smell like shit, but you will survive.
I heard Melania orders his Big Macs with extra cholesterol. It's just a rumor, though. Did you guys know
Fingers
that
crossed. She's like, any day now.
the Iowa Senate, they just okayed a bill removing transgender identity from everything within their government. So no bills, no legislation, no civil rights.
No protective status, yeah. They have no
protective
civil
status
rights. They have no civil rights anywhere.
My God, I
Welcome
have
to
to
1935.
I have to let you guys listen to the craziest video I heard this week. You know Stu Peters, who's like an open white nationalist, also
Yes.
best friends with Kash Patel, which is very strange. Make any of it make sense for these people. Like, Kash, they don't want you. Like, look in the mirror. They don't want you. But listen, Stu Peters had this woman on his show, and she's like, why are black people so bad? Just because we wouldn't let them in the same bathrooms as us? Like, just because we wouldn't, like, let them drink out of the same water fountains? And I was like, I quit. I have to quit life now. Like, I literally can't do this any longer. This is the oh, I found it. Hold on. This is real. I can't, I don't think it says anything too bad. I mean, she's just talking, like, she's dead serious about it. She's just like, it's so weird.
In order to have true freedom of association, you have to repeal the Civil Rights Act, because that is in literally fighting against the Constitution. The two cannot exist at the same time. Barry Goldwater even talked about that back.
As someone from Arizona, Barry Goldwater is the most. I was born. I'm an Arizona native. He's the most racist man to ever come out of Arizona. Just to be clear, he's literally like the most racist person that has ever lived in Arizona. Just to clarify.
I don't know ever.
This was a thing. He was talking about how the civil rights regime was going to be built out. It would end freedom of association. And ultimately, what has it given white people? No rights. It's given political prisoners, thought crimes, censorship, banning. And now we can't have our own spaces, but they can have their own black everything and be in all our white spaces. All of this because they couldn't drink in the same water fountain or use the same toilet. Was it really that big of a deal?
Oh,
was it really? That's what she thinks happened.
Yeah.
That's what she thinks happened. That's
what's her name?
We're talking about. I can look it up. I don't effing Stu Peters' weird ass white nationalist friend. I don't know. Like I listen. Oh, her name's Lana Lokteff. Lokteff. Lana Lana.
Oh,
just a weirdo on Stu Peters' show.
This
like
bitch looks
everyone's
so
Stu Peters.
entitled. Oh man, fuck this.
God,
woman.
they're just mad they couldn't drink out of our water fountains. Is that what you think was going on? Is that what you think lynchings are? Were attempted drinkings out of water fountains? What the?
Did she make this article? Why are women joining alt-right?
Do you understand that? Like, let me just give you one story about what happened to black people. Do you understand that, like, after white women would give birth, they would, like, not be able to hold their urine anymore. And then, like, they would smell and, like, their white husbands were mad about it. So when the American Medical Association was formed, which was just a bunch of white men taking over women's health, they decided to, against black women's will, experiment on them to determine how to stop, like spontaneous urine from coming out of women after they gave birth. And they did horrific medical testing on black women against their will. That's just one tiny thing that happened to black people. Like, how about you read a book, lady, and then you could figure it out? Have you ever heard of the Tuskegee experiments? When they're like, hey, let's just experiment on black men and tell them we're trying to cure them, and really we're not.
Made him infertile? Is that the one? They made him infertile?
Yeah, medical apartheid. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, like what exactly? Like I mean, what about indigenous women who were just sterilized against their will? Black women were sterilized. Like, are you effing kidding me? And they're like, just because they couldn't swim in the same pool as us? Like, it's like we're in hell. Yeah, that's what it is. Can you send me that vid? Oh, yeah. If anyone wants that video, because I do think we should all have access and we can all be very angry about it. On X, or I'm pretty sure it's at Right Wing Watch. It's a great account. They're just like monitoring Christian nationalist and white nationalist bullshit at Right Wing Watch. And it's like the 4th video down. And it's a great account that will outrage you every day.
That lady's name is
Let me
Lana
send it. I'll send it to
Lokteff.
Pickles too. And I'll put it in my Discord. I'm going to put it in my Discord.
This is an article that she was quoted on, that they don't necessarily see Donald Trump as alt-right. Lana Lokteff, for instance, when I met and interviewed her, she point blank said he's not one of our guys. Wow.
Yeah, he's not racist enough for them. That's too bad. You got to really jump on the racism train. I'm going to put it in the general chat, and then I'll put it in Pickles Discord as well. The link to it.
Ah, these little bureaus are good. Good for.
I just put it in my general chat. I'm going to put it in Pickles.
Good for you, Tom Holland. Chat, tap the screen. Let's get to... Oh, we did get to 100K. Thank you, guys. Also, thank you guys so much. We hit 50,000 followers today, by the way, guys. 50,000. Thank you so much.
Congrats.
If you're not following me, please follow me now. Follow me.
Bitcoin down over 20%.
10,000, guys. Ooh.
I can't wait to rub that into a Bitcoin bro's face. Thank you, guys.
This is going to be weird, TikTok, but I'm just going to send you my cell number. Just in case you ever... You seem like a cool person. I was thinking, like, the other time, that one time I messaged you, I was going to just give you my cell phone. Did I give it to you? Like, which is weird. But I was like, he seems cool. I should just give him my number. And it's like, that's weird. But now I just feel like we're close enough at this point where it's not weird.
That's fair.
Is it wrong at the minute?
Oh my God, these videos where people are just shitting on space trucks. Have you seen this where people wait till nighttime and they're projecting like use, like the back of space trucks are perfect like projector screens for like Elmo has a small dick.
Yeah.
I could watch these things.
They're just doing the salute on the back and being like, I got fucked by buying this car. It's a piece of shit.
Yeah, they say all sorts of funny things. It's so funny.
I want to show
Why does
you.
it says it, okay, why does it Pepe the Frog come up on TikTok? Why does TikTok
me.
have Pepe the Frog as an option? Like, I just sent it to you. That was not me. It's TikTok. Like, isn't that super like horrible?
Yeah.
Really
So,
weird.
like the artist on that is really upset that it was adopted by the right wingers, by the alt right.
Oh, I know. Trust me.
he's
Bad
trying
Views
to
has
take
told
it
me
back,
that. Bad
but-
Views has told me this story. I know. I know
I read
that.
the
I did a
story
lot
on
of
the guy. I felt
research.
bad
Yeah,
for him.
no, I did. I did my research too because Bad Views asked me to, and he's like, "Can you just actually read the story?" So I do. That is true. I do know that.
Bad Views hates my guts.
Does he?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think depends on the day.
I hurt his feelings. I told him, "Hey, man, you are smart enough to know what you're saying is a lie, and that makes you dangerous." And he.
Oh, I think I heard you say that. Wasn't up here, but I think I heard you say that once.
Don G, thank you so much for $20. Good show. Thank you from Ashton.
Nice.
You guys.
I got it, please.
Ignore my requests. Guys, if I missed your request,
Hey, Mark.
please.
McDoo-doo.
I really wanted
Yes,
another
let's all
mirror
tap
print.
the screen aggressively, and everyone share the live with like or least
Actually,
like.
so the new trick that's out apparently after the update is the way to get an interaction with the FYP is to join the crew. I don't know, the little heart next to his name.
Oh, the heart. Pieces.
It's not that.
Like I just started muting my computer sound. Like I realized, like yeah, you can just mute your computer sounds, and then not everyone has to hear it.
This whole time I thought he was getting phone calls because he always looks up into the corner. Yeah, I figured there's a something up